You may have to refresh, but then when it's live, you'll see it.
Yeah. Just keep on refreshing it.
Refresh within the home.
Okay, since we're here. Something went wrong. I always say stuff went wrong. Yours working? Oh no, it didn't.
Hello world, my name is Pin Valentine. I got terribly burned at work last night. And welcome to our 10th episode of Catching Up. Tonight I have Trill with me, and he's got a friend in the background, which you might hear every once in a while. Sounds like a sexy fuck to me. And Trill is a musician. You can find his music on YouTube and SoundCloud. Just look up his name, and you'll find him. And every once in a while, you can find him on the Great Debate YouTube channel, where he never does anything good.
Okay. Sure.
Your work
Yeah.
is terrible, man. Your work is terrible.
Sure.
Yeah. But otherwise, this is our 10th episode, Trill. We've made it to 10. It's a big achievement with nobody watching. You got to be pretty persistent.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not like you don't get views; you get some.
Yeah, you get some.
Somehow.
Somehow.
So yeah, there
I
we
don't
go.
know how, but we do. But so how has your 2 weeks been? We weren't on last week because I was busy. Las Vegas had Pride last week. I decided to indulge in that a little bit. But how has your 2 weeks been?
We'll see that. Oops, sorry, try again later.
Oh, my week has been okay.
Has it? Just okay?
Yeah, I've been hanging out with some friends for music and stuff, right? So met some people that like to make music.
And your friend and you, he's over because he's going to catch a movie with you. What you guys going to watch?
The new, I don't know who it's directed by or anything, so you have to forgive me, but the new Jigsaw movie.
Oh, you lucky son of a bitch. God, I can't wait to see that movie. I love the Saw series. It's the only horror franchise that is any good to me.
Only any good? I guess you didn't see Stephen King's It recently, huh?
I still haven't. We tried the other day, but the torrent Miranda likes to use wasn't working with it so well. So, whatever. We'll watch it some other way. But I don't know. I think I will like it, but at the same time, I think I won't. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, I guess so. But only thing I'd say as far as the whole horror movie thing goes is that maybe don't focus so much on a series.
He is loud.
There's a bit of time difference lag in here.
Yeah, but anyways, as far as the whole the horror movie thing goes, I don't find that it's not so much the whole series thing, but if it's as a standalone, I seem to like things like that.
Yeah, I heard something about you're familiar with film theory, right?
Kind of. Yeah. Oh no, not the YouTube channel. Oh, I thought you were talking about actual film theories. Like,
no,
actually,
I don't know shit.
Oh,
but
oh man, you should.
the recent YouTube channel Film Theory, they did a video earlier this week or last week or something like that, where in short, it kind of explained how the Stephen King books and movies are one giant connected universe.
Oh, okay. So they're doing like a cinematic universe, like what Marvel's doing, how all the movies are connected to like Avengers and stuff. And
yeah, but
DC is doing that too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's not a standalone.
It might. I guess it kind of depends on how you look at it, because the books gives. I guess I've never read any of the books except for The Shining. I didn't particularly like it, but apparently the books give a lot of references to the other works and stuff. Like
that would make sense.
Or like The Shining, the ghost that the kid.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, all that stuff
connected, and there's like a turtle and stuff. Yeah, it's crazy.
and I guess they're looking to remake The Shining.
Okay, so it fits within the universe. It's like,
yeah.
Like, see, I was actually kind of against that at first. Like, there's like the Universal's really laughable dark universe stuff, But the thing is, like, if that's the direction all the movies are going towards now, like they're all going to try to do cinematic universe, I guess. Then I guess what they're all going to do. I just find it kind of. I like standalones. I don't know, like universe where it's all connected. I feel like I miss out because if I haven't seen certain movies within the cinematic universe, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
So
I
I
agree.
kind of wish there'd be more standalones.
I agree
It kind
because
of
I
bums
think
me out knowing that it's not a standalone now.
connected universes in a lot of ways are good, and some of them aren't so great. Like the Marvel connected universe, I love the shit out of it. It's like the most amazing thing of our time. I think it's the biggest connected universe, film wise, ever, and I don't feel like DC is doing a good job at it. Um, and then I remember they tried to do the whole thing with the monster movies, like Frankenstein, and like
Yeah,
I think it was I Frankenstein and stuff like that. Um, and now they're trying to do it with King Kong and Godzilla, which I think would be a
yeah.
cool. I think that'll be good. I think like the best example I can give of a bad interconnected movie universe would be the Pirates movies, the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, why is that? Because that's
Well,
usually something that's looked on with like really high regard.
well, yeah, I look at the first three movies with high regard, and I feel like the story ended with the third movie. Everything wrapped up real nice with a pretty little bow at the third movie. We got all of the resolution we could have ever wanted in
Well, where do you think they went wrong then?
the
Like,
fourth and fifth movie.
what was it about it though?
The two biggest things I have against those two movies is, um, in the first three movies, Jack Sparrow is not the only main character. There's two other main characters, right?
Okay,
Unless you look at the third movie, then Barbossa as well. Okay. Um, and then in the fourth and fifth movies, Jack is the main character,
all right.
and he's not a main character type of character. I mean, I like him; he's a cool character and all, but he's not a main character. The second is the stories seem forced.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Force story. That's something that I know a lot of people are just casual when they're going in. They don't really care about. But for someone who's like, if you're a writer or not, you can kind of tell when certain things feel forced. Like it's just in there,
right?
it doesn't flow properly. It's like a
Exactly.
casual person that goes with me. I don't even know if a story beats force, but someone like you and me might. But yeah, I
Exactly
feel like a
right.
lot of people don't. Yeah.
And then the two other things are, like I said, the third movie wrapped everything up pretty, and we didn't need any movies after that. It wrapped up. We were done. Okay. It was going to be a classic film series that we would come back 20 years later and still love it. And we didn't need these other movies. And so now these fourth and fifth movies seem completely unnecessary. You know what
Well,
I mean?
you can say this. You can say the same thing about Star Wars, though.
Yeah.
Like seriously, because this kind of already wrapped up. You had the original trilogy, and from there, if you just count the original trilogy, you say, "Oh, we don't need any more movies."
Um,
But then they added the prequels, and
yeah.
it's like, now we don't need any more movies. But now they're doing three more, and it's like, oh, okay. You see
Yeah.
where the problem? Like,
No.
if a story is continued on and they do it right, I'm not saying that they did it right all the time because I don't think the prequels are really well done. But um,
I'm in the minority where I actually liked the prequels. But
well, I like some parts about them.
and I
I
don't
just
care what
don't.
anybody says. Jar Jar is awesome. I like Jar Jar. But no, here's the biggest offender for the fourth and fifth movies of Pirates for me. The biggest offender is Jack
Yeah.
Sparrow is a cool guy. He's really intelligent. He does all these weird things when he's drunk, and he plans everything out ahead of time. And he's just this cool guy. He's a really well-rounded character. And then in the fourth and fifth movies, he was literally just a parody of himself, and that's not
I see.
entertaining to watch.
Ah, okay. So
Like the fifth movie, the Dead Man, whatever, not Dead Man's Chest, it was Dead Man Tell No Tales. Like he was a
yeah,
bumbling drunk buffoon who just couldn't do anything. He was just kind of along for the ride, and it's like it. Um,
you ever have any moments where you feel like that?
yeah, I feel like that right now.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't really blame him. It's going through a Pin Valentine moment.
I guess that's what it is.
I'm just along for the ride. But anyways, you did have some actual topics to discuss, didn't you? Because you said
I did, And now
Okay.
three of these topics, I'm going to let the audience know now that three of these topics are all kind of pretty much about the same thing.
Okay.
And I have four. Before the show, I told you three, but I actually have four.
All right.
Three of them are around the same thing, so it kind of sounds like I'm being biased or I have an agenda or anything. And I assure you, that's not what was going
No,
on.
no,
It's just
okay. All
the
right. Hey,
three
this is
stories that jumped out at me.
all the way early, right?
Pretty much. So I'll get the fourth one out of the way first, and that's about Donald Trump again.
Oh, okay. I see.
I have to.
Like you're picking this out. I see.
I have to. I can't let this one go because it seems more and more like that members of Congress, some members of the Senate,
Don't
employees
tell
and
Can,
staff of the White House. What?
okay, can I just ask? Don't tell me they're all about Donald Trump, right?
No, no, no.
Thank goodness. Okay, good.
Just the fourth one. But
I've heard so much about it because of the YouTube channels talk about. It. Okay, enough about him. Okay, I get it. Then people in my news feeds. Okay, I get it. Shut up.
well, I wanted to get your take on this particularly because it seems like members of Congress, member of Senate, staff of the White House are becoming more and more concerned about Donald's mental health.
Oh, okay. At least it's something different.
Yeah.
Nope.
You ever heard about that?
News to me.
It's getting so bad that they are coming to the idea that he may not be able to effectively carry the title of president, and they are considering Amendment 25 of the Constitution of the United States, which apparently says something that if a president is mentally unfit to have the office of presidency, they can be kicked out.
Oh, okay. So I guess they have to do a lot of proving to do first, right? That he's actually unfit.
Actually, no. All president and Senate have to do, or Speaker of the House, I think it is. I don't remember which. All they really have to do is like sign this paper that says he's unfit. Pence takes over.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, it's not that much of a process then. Holy crud.
No trial, no impeachment, no nothing. They just fill out a paper, say he's unfit, and he loses presidency. Now there is a little.
That's gonna piss off a bunch of people.
Oh, fuck those people! But that's gonna. There is a little bit of a process because Trump can like fill out his own paper that says, "Yeah, I'm okay," but then the Senate can turn around and fill out another one that says he's can go away.
The only thing
it could be a little bit of a thing
is well, I mean, some of the I know you and I have really different views on this, and I'm not like I'm centrist. So I'm not conservative. I mean, I think that he, in some ways, very small, that might be a good choice for your country.
I would agree. I would greatly agree.
I wouldn't want to stop any of those. I wonder if any other president would actually get that stuff done. It would just be kind of some of the same old things you've been dealing with for knows how long. But on the other hand, still you get rid of him. It's like, who's going to be the replacement, right?
Well, it's going to be Pence. It's going to be Pence. It's always the vice president first.
So do you really want that? Are you thinking? Are you sure that maybe Donald's not looking too bad now, is he?
Well, actually, I don't agree with pretty much anything Pence says, but I don't. Trump I view as a dangerous man. Pence I don't. Pence may try to get legislation done that I'm not going to agree with, and he might get laws passed that I'm not going to agree with. But we can argue and debate those as they come, and we can try and fight them. And if they do pass, we can try and get them changed eventually. But with Trump, I'm pretty sure we're on the brink of World War III, and I don't want to go to war.
Huh. Meanwhile, in Canada, we don't have to deal with any of that. we have our own problems. Well, it's not like our prime minister is doing everything the best either, right?
Yeah, well, it's like.
I don't know if you heard about the stuff that's going on over here with like certain bills and stuff being passed. There's some pretty scary things here too.
Is your prime minister a shithead too?
Oh no, it's nothing anywhere near to what's going on with you guys. But at the same time, though, if certain things get passed, it can be a pretty scary place here. I don't know if you heard about. I don't know if it's C-15 or C-16 or something, but if something gets passed, it's going to make it so that, you know, the whole thing about the law, how it's like innocent until proven guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in a way, it feels like if this thing is passed, it's going to be guilty until proven innocent if you're in some sort of trial that involves rape.
Oh, that's stupid. That is really stupid.
Yeah, it's going to make it a lot scarier for anybody who has casual sex or anything.
Yeah.
So I should say that.
And there are going to be a lot of feminist people who hate me, but there are women who lie about it. Not very many, but
Yeah, I know. That's what it feels like, and that's actually kind of a scary thing. That if you keep up with like laws here in Canada, if that's passed, like it's gonna, man, it's gonna be brutal here for
it is going
anybody
to.
that. And there's a very good chance it will be passed because of the whole, progressiveness of everybody nowadays and stuff, like
Oh
social
man.
justice. Yeah, there's a very good chance it actually could be a reality.
Oh, that's a big step backwards for Canada.
The thing is that if you have like texts and stuff or whatever, even if there's certain things where you can say, "Hey, look, she showed her consent because look what showed me that you have evidence, whatever." Some of that stuff actually won't count as evidence in court. Like it can be thrown out. Like they won't count it.
That's completely stupid.
Oh, it's weird. It's like it honestly feels like that's like a law. Like I don't want to be conspiracy theorists here, but that's like a law that was set up almost like I only see it being set up by like feminists in a way.
Well,
Like who else would say something that like dictatorship almost? Like there's no way you can win. Like this doesn't seem. It doesn't seem. What do you call it? Like it doesn't seem rational.
it's not rational
It doesn't.
at all.
Also come off a law like that. That goes pretty much completely against with the laws we have here. And at the same time, though, that bill also has some nice changes to some of the criminal code and that I do agree with. Though that's the problem.
Oh man.
So at the same time, there's some things I'm hoping will get actually changed because there's a few laws we do have here that I don't like. So some of the changes that bill or whatever it has amendments, I think they'll be a good thing actually if they're changed. But at the same time, though, you're going to have that rape law thing.
Yeah,
So it's like you're getting a trade off for good, but you're also getting a really bad thing at the end of it.
and that's where I'm more along the line of where if any law, good or bad, infringes on your freedom, then it should not be passed.
Yeah. That's it's. So I mean, a lot of people say like Canada's like a good place. Don't get me wrong, it is a good place to live and stuff. I still prefer it in a lot of ways over America, but one thing I do envy you guys on is you guys do seem to have a more reasonable stance, in my opinion, on the freedom of speech and stuff like that.
It depends on who you ask.
Fuck you, free.
You sure? You just did. Yeah, but what were the other stories you had?
Well,
I want to keep the story like this podcast under an hour so we can go catch that movie like right at 9.
No problem. So I'm gonna do this in a particular order to make it easier, I guess.
All right. Yeah.
So the first thing is Playboy. No, I'm not talking about Hugh Hefner's death, as sad as that is. But I'm talking about their November 2017 what is it, centerfold model. I believe her name is Ines Rao, or however you pronounce it. I don't know. As she is what?
Yeah.
Oh, she's the first ever transgender Playboy centerfold, and she will.
Is that
what?
Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead.
She'll be posing completely nude. And I think this is a huge step for Playboy. I think it's a huge step for the world. As most of us probably know, Playboy played a major part in progression in our country.
I see. So you know what I'm going to ask right though, right?
What? Pre-op post-op, right?
Has she passed?
Is she passed?
Does she pass?
Well, I've seen pictures. I haven't seen the full nude. That's
all that matters to me.
No, I've seen the full nude. I haven't seen the full nude, but I have seen some of her modeling, and she is very much a woman. And whether she passes or not, she is still very much a woman. But that's neither here nor there.
But I'm just saying, as far as like how I look at it, man. Like I know it seems like shallow, whatever, but I mean that's kind of how I would determine my decisions because I'm a human being. We're shallow creatures.
I agree with you. But
So like if she passes, then yeah, sure.
I have had people ask the question whether or not she's post or pre-op, and for me, it doesn't matter. I would assume that she is post-op if she's posing nude in Playboy.
Mm.
But for me, it doesn't matter. I guess we'll find out when the issue comes out. That will be the first ever Playboy that I buy.
Oh, okay, there you go.
So I
You
think
get
that's really good. I mean, Playboy was the first magazine to show black models, Asian models. They were they in a lot of articles that they wrote as well. They helped progression in this country quite a bit. So I think this is an exciting thing for the transgender community and the LGBT community, and I can't wait to see what some of the reactions will be. And I hope that most of them are positive, even though I don't think they will all be positive.
oh, well, I mean, what are you gonna do, right?
People are assholes.
I mean, I get it. I mean, I really do. Like coming from both sides of the fence. It is an event. It's just, at the same time though, it's just I don't know. Like I guess it just kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
Like there's not really too much you're gonna do to say to anybody else it doesn't attract or whatnot. I mean, even I mean, like I'm not fully on board with either side in like these gender politics or whatever. And even I say it's like like just like it is what it is. Like you don't have to get super mad about it, but I don't know if I'd be like super going overboard supportive of it either.
Well, I can't help but to be, because these are people, they're human beings. They're just trying to live their lives, and let them be. Whether you agree with how they live their life or not, just let them be. Leave them alone. And
Yeah, as long as you're not affecting other people.
yeah. So, and the only reason why a lot of people come out in overwhelming support like I do is because of things like bathroom bills, because of the thing like transgender suicide rate is between 42 and 50%, depending on where you get your source. It's major. It's major. It is a major issue, and it does need to be dealt with. But speaking of the progression of the same terms, my next story is about California. They made a major stride and progression 2 weeks ago when they legally they announced that there will that a third gender will be legally recognized, and that's just third gender.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I've not heard about this yet. I guess this must be very recent, or I just have not been keeping
within the last 2 weeks. And
what?
so
Okay.
what it means is that people will be able to get on their driver's license, all their legal records and everything that they recognize as a third gender, just the third gender, right? And that will make it easier for them to change their gender if they are transgender, change their names. If they don't want to recognize as either gender, they're legally allowed to do that now on all forms of applications for jobs, driver's licenses, everything. So this is going to make life a lot easier for a lot of transgender people, third gender people, agender, all those people.
Oh, okay. See, I guess I just didn't hear YouTube channels like talk about it or whatever, so maybe you just have to find the right people. But either way, as far as the whole I guess different genders thing goes, or what exactly is this third gender?
Well, in California legal terms, it's just you don't recognize yourself legally as either male or female.
Oh, okay. So it's just
for at least the moment.
Okay. I'm just wondering because
it's going to be a stepping stone between changing your legal gender from either male to female or female to male.
Oh, that I guess that's fair enough. Like I was gonna say, if that was okay, so it's not very specific. I was gonna say.
Yeah, it's not super specific, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't think it should be. Like the more specific we get, the more convoluted things are gonna be.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think you need it that complex personally.
It really
like just complex. You know what? Just other. Yeah, sure. Just put that on there. I mean, why not? Like it keeps people happy, and you don't have to get too specific about it where it starts causing confusion. Crap.
Like internally, being transgender is really complicated, but legally, it's unnecessarily complicated.
Right.
It doesn't need to be as complicated as it is in most places.
I think people make it too complicated personally. Because
Yeah,
I don't know.
you.
Correct me if I'm wrong. For instance, you get people that have, identify as like another gender or whatever, right? And then they claim that there's different types of genders that are not just male and female. They have all these like 76, whatever, right? And I've looked through the stuff, right? I don't think I haven't looked into it. I've looked in it, and personally, for me, and maybe this is just, you can correct me on this, but it feels like every single one of those just seems to be a variation of like male or female. Like they don't seem needed. They really don't.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. There's a lot of them that don't make sense to me. Like if you want to identify as bigender or non-gender or third gender, that's pretty much the same thing. I don't care what you call it.
Yeah.
Transgender, that's obvious. There's a few age gender you don't recognize as any gender. Fine. But these extra things, I feel like they're unnecessary.
Yeah, like the trigender, like like the demi girl, demi boy. It's like, come on, dude. It's like it's just, like for instance, like I don't know, like if I was gonna be completely accurate, but like here's the thing where I think where the legal thing can be a little bit unnecessary in my opinion. Maybe some people feel differently, but for instance, for the most part, I feel male or whatnot, right? You probably call me cis or whatever, if you're going to use all the technical terms. But at the same time, though, and those might seem like a shocker to some people who don't follow this podcast regularly, but there are sometimes, there are very small instances, not enough to ever transition or nothing, where I do feel female, like legit.
Well, everybody feels like that.
Every now and then it happens. Like I don't get quite
even Gary, even if you don't want to admit it.
Right, like sometimes it happens. But the thing is, as far as the whole, feeling female thing goes, like it happens at such a small percentage that I don't consider it that big of a deal to the point where I'd call myself a new identity because I'm looking through all those things. Technically, I'd be like demigirl or something, where I feel like a girl sometimes. But it's like it's not that big of a deal to me because most of the time I feel male and I identify as male and I dress as a male. So, you know what I mean? Like it just feels like whatever. I'll just be male. So I don't need to make this big deal out of it.
Right.
And I honestly don't even view it as a second identity. Like for me, it's just me. I just go, I'm male, and my brain's weird sometimes. Like I don't need to call it this whole other gender to me. Like I don't know, maybe it seems insensitive or whatever, but that's just kind of how I feel.
Sometimes I feel insensitive saying the same thing, considering my part in the whole debate, right? And you know what I'm talking about. But
right.
And I do feel insensitive, and at some point I feel somewhat hypocritical. But at the same time, given the definitions of all these different genders that aren't transgender, bigender, or agender, all these extra definitions sound more to me like you're just trying to be original.
Yeah.
You're trying to identify yourself in a way that nobody else is really identifying, and I don't feel like that's the right way to do it because I feel like you're downgrading.
I hate to use this, but it feels very snowflakey. It really does. Like this is where people start making fun of those kind of people now because it starts to go very. It just gets ridiculous after a while. It's like like I get it. Trans people, there are people that don't feel that they are the thing. I understand. Like shoot, I feel a little bit like a female myself sometimes. But then you start getting to the ridiculous zone, in my opinion. So.
No,
and that's where, and that's why I'd be against the whole, the whole the gender pronouns kind of thing and all these different extra things. Like you're just making things more complicated than they need to be.
Right. And if anybody is watching and thinks I'm wrong, I'm more than happy to have a conversation about it.
Yeah. It makes the people that actually have the legit thing, have a bad rep, Like, so when you say something like that, they just me think, oh, what, you're one of those snowflake people? And I was like, no. Now you have to explain to them because all the people, like they've ruined it for the rest of us, right?
Yeah, it's downgrading the fight, is what I say.
Yeah. See, it just gets stupid because people have made it stupid. So.
No, I agree. But speaking of identifying the right way, I have a little plight with Steve McRae.
Oh, okay. So is this the other story?
It's not a big plight though. In fact, I wouldn't be.
Great debate community news. Nice. So what's going on in this great debate?
Well, and I wouldn't be amiss if you shared this with Steve McRae because I just.
Oh, it's okay. I already did share it in the Hangout live chat thing. So
good because and I'm not really all that angry at Steve because I feel like it was an honest mistake. But I finally caught one of his hangouts. I don't usually do that because I get bored. But he
Yeah,
was
I don't yet. I haven't checked out the official GDC for who knows how long now. So,
right, and
but yeah,
I clicked on it and watched most of it. I didn't get to the part where he was talking. I stopped where he started talking about Gary and GMOs. Not interested. But
yeah.
he was talking. But the video was in the video. He and a couple of other people were talking about Riley Dennis.
Oh, okay. Can I just say this quickly?
Yep.
So, A, first of all, I know who that is, and B, when it comes to the Great Debate Community, what I mean by I don't check it out too much, like I will check the posts every now and then, but as far as actually sit there and watch the Hangouts, that's one thing. So I don't think I would even know that.
Well, now first things first. I don't like Riley Dennis. I don't agree with her. I don't like anything she has to say about pretty much anything.
Yeah.
But the play I have with Steve McRae, and I do think this was an honest mistake, so I'm not super mad at him. There was a few times that he referred to Riley Dennis as a he,
Oh, okay.
and Riley Dennis is a transgender female, but I do think it was a mistake because there were several other times where he referred to her as a she.
Oh, okay. So he kind of goes, oh,
Yeah.
see,
So the thing is, I don't like her.
things. Yeah.
I don't like her. I don't agree with her. I think she's a shit human being altogether. But I'm not going to deny the fact that she's a woman.
Ah, okay. I see what you mean.
So let's just
see, personally, for me,
she's a she. Leave her alone about that.
For me, if I knew that, personally, if I knew that, now that I know that's what it is, because again, I know who she is and everything, because people make response videos about her like crazy. But if I didn't know, or whatever, it's like now that I do know that, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I could do it out of respect. But if they aren't familiar with what she identifies as, I can easily see somebody saying he.
Well, the thing is,
in my mind, that's where I would jump to, like almost immediately, as somebody points it out. It's like, oh, no one said what they are yet. So whatever, I'll just say he.
Yeah, if
it's the closest thing. That's what my brain will just approximate to.
If people don't know it and they make that mistake, that's easy to forgive, right?
Yeah.
In this case, Steve McRae definitely knew. He was specifically talking about a video she made several months ago that says that if you're not willing to have sex with a transgender person, then you are bigoted. Yeah, she's so fucking stupid. I hate her so much. Yeah, it was just a simple mistake. All I ask is that, I don't like her. I hate her. She's a piece of shit, but she is still a woman, and I'm not going to deny her that.
Right.
Now, the other thing that I have a gripe with, and this is one that I have a big problem with.
Oh, okay.
It's not Steve. It's somebody else in there, Jade. I'm not familiar with her.
Oh, okay.
And
Jade. Oh, yeah, she's really good with biology and stuff. That's her thing. She likes to go after anti-evolution people and stuff.
Oh, that's excellent.
Stuff.
The thing is, for me, this comes down to a psychological thing, though.
Oh, okay.
And overall, the people in the room seem to be overwhelmingly supportive of transgender people and the gay community in general. That's great. But she said something in there that I vehemently disagree with, and I think is a dangerous thing to say when there are trans people.
We'll see what it is. I might disagree with it too, because
she said word for word in regards to dysphoria transgender people feel to their genitals. That's the whole idea that transgender people look down, they see what they don't like or that's not supposed to be there, and they feel overwhelming grief, despair, and depression and anxiety just about that one part of their body. And she said word for word, I hate to be harsh, but they have to get over it.
Sorry, can you say that again? I was kind of distracted.
Yeah, she said word for word, and again in regards to dysphoria felt towards transgender people's genitals. I hate to be harsh, but they have to get over it.
Oh, okay.
That's a danger.
So she's basically saying that because it's like just like treating it as like some sort of. I guess that's kind of you can almost argue that's the bad way to do it for any sort of mental
Yeah, that's a very dangerous thing to say regards to anything mentally.
Yeah,
I mean,
like so much. Again, it's for me personally. Maybe you feel differently. 'Cause I know you're different about the LGBT issues and stuff. But
yeah, it's
personally, I'm a little more. I'm not so embracive of it. If I'm just being honest with you, for me, it's more about that's just something you don't say to any sort of mental illness, regardless of what it is.
and
You
you are
know,
absolutely correct. And you are
most of
absolutely
the LGBT thing. I'd say the same things you said that about depression.
Yeah, and the thing is, we don't need to get over it. We need to. They don't need to get over it. They need to be made to feel comfortable about who they are. They need to be made to feel comfortable um, about their body parts, about who they are, their mental state, all of that. They need to be made to feel comfortable, and they're not. The suicide rate, as I said earlier, among the transgender community is the highest suicide rate or a suicide attempted rate at out of any other demographic in the United States at 42 to 50%, depending on where you get your information. That's not, you can't tell people with that many suicides get over it. It doesn't work like that.
You
If they
get
could
yeah,
get over it, they would.
things need treatment, right?
Things need treatment, and for some people that comes with surgery. For some people that comes with therapy. For some people that comes with distractions like hobbies or careers and stuff like that. If they could just simply get over it, they would.
Right.
But they can't.
It's the same thing with depression. That you need the treatment for it. Again, I don't know if we even know half the answers to all these things. A lot of these are pretty new on the horizon. People haven't been dealing with them for a long time. But once
No,
people know the answers, I mean, people have to. That's why instead of just saying get over it, people should do more research into it
I agree.
and see like what the answer actually is, instead of just like a whole bunch of guesses and how to solve things.
And I agree. And I was gonna save this until it was official, but because I feel like the transgender community overall need a lot of help with that high of a suicide rate, and they are one of the most oppressed people in the United States. They're being killed left and right, and they have suicides left and right, and they need help. I am applying to university tomorrow,
Yeah.
which I'm sure I will get in, and I will be studying psychology with a focus on gender and sexuality.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. I'm just gonna say, be careful though, because I've heard that because of the whole people going too crazy with it, like the progressive agenda, that like gender studies is kind of crap now. If it ever
Well,
was good.
I'm going to be doing gender studies later on in my academic career if I get that far.
Some courses have kind of been ruined.
No, and you're right, but I'm doing it specifically so I can eventually become a licensed psychologist and I can directly speak to these people, and I could be there to help them with their transition, their progression, whatever they need help with. That's what I'm gonna be working for.
Yeah. As far as the Steve McRae thing, though, I mean, you could just tell him.
I did. Well, I did. I didn't tell him. You know me, I don't message anybody, but I did leave a comment on the video saying, and see, I'm gonna regret saying this on air. You know that, right? I'm going to immediately regret it because I know somebody is going to comment something, whether it's supportive or not. But
If you say so, watch this.
I commented on the video. Next time this subject pops up, this transgendered person would be more than happy to join in that conversation.
Oh,
I felt like that's the one thing they were missing. Not that it really matters a whole shit ton, but I feel like that was one thing they were missing, and I volunteered my services.
Oh, okay.
So,
the demi girl.
What?
I just said, how about a demi girl? Would they have anything to
I think
say?
Steve McRae is a demi girl.
As a girl sometimes.
He feels like a girl sometimes, except for when he looks in the mirror and sees his beard.
Yeah, I was like, oh crap. You just got me out of it now.
No, and this is interesting though, because like their conversations seem, I didn't watch any of this happening, so I'm only going based on what I saw on Steve McRae's video. So that's all the information I have at the moment. But apparently, True Empiricism accused Dragnet of being bisexual, because he was attracted to the female figures of transgendered women. And I'm like,
Okay. Well,
how
the
stupid
thing
can
is,
one
again,
person be?
being that guy, this is why it matters that the do they pass? Because if they look female enough to where I don't know, then no, I'd say no, you're not gay. Like you're just like they look
I would
female
say
enough. So
anyway. I would say that they're not gay.
yeah. Well, I mean,
That's another problem in the trans community is what we call chasers. Men who are sexually attracted to transgendered people and trannies. It's a fetish that they have and only date them while they still have a penis. And we don't. It's weird. It's
here's
degrading.
the thing. I don't know. The way I see it is like if they pass whatever, then you don't. No, I don't think Dragnot would be gay then, because if they look like they're female enough, then
I would say even if they didn't, I wouldn't call them gay or bisexual.
even if they didn't
For all intents and purposes, they're still a woman. I've seen some pretty manly-looking women.
pass, I'd say that the person that attracted him is more like pansexual or whatever.
Well, that's me, but that's neither here nor there.
It's not. Again,
For
I'd say
me, it
that's
doesn't
more.
matter. Dick or pussy, let me eat it, baby.
Yeah. Okay. So again, it's more like a pansexual thing to me. That's just kind of how I view it.
Whatever.
Call it. Yeah.
Whatever. Bisexuality is a weird thing, you know.
It is.
I
It
mean,
really.
my favorite example of all time is Elton John. I'm sure you know who he is. Big famous gay guy who has been out as gay since the late 60s or early 70s or something like that. And in the 80s married a woman. He was
Okay.
deeply in love with this woman, emotionally and romantically in love with this woman, ended up leaving her because he just couldn't get any sexual gratification out of it. Sexuality is a weird thing like that.
It really is.
It is a weird thing like that, but whatever. But yeah, that's my plan. Is I've already talked to administration there, and it looks like I will be going to school there. All I have to do is apply.
There you go. What do you think? Do you think we could get to I don't know, our debate today or whatnot?
Oh, debate.com question of the day.
I'm thinking that maybe. Hang on just a second.
Okay.
John, would you like our debate of the day?
Sure. Okay, so
Use my microphone. You can probably hear it through the headphones. Cause I'll just turn up the volume loud.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, sure.
and then he can be free to insert his opinion, although it will not be appreciated. Now, today's question on debate.org was posted by Adodson, Adodson, as if they're going to be watching, but posted by Addison, and the question is: should schools filter and or block internet searches? And I'm going to be including elementary, middle, and high school in this.
Oh.
So, of course, the two answers would be you would vote no, schools should not filter or block the internet, or yes, schools should filter or block the internet. And before you say anything, let me tell you what some of the other people said. So far, there's only one vote for yes and no comment. And there are 4 votes for no with 2 comments. And the 2 comments are one person, Big Head 14, says that if they want to play games instead of focusing on their education, that he doesn't care. That's basically what he said. And then Watopia, another commenter, says something that I pretty much agree with. No school should not filter or block the internet. This would stop the children of that school discovering new things about the 21st century, which would allow them to stretch their minds and see things they might not learn in school that they could take an interest in. He repeated that. Okay. Why did he repeat that? But I'm of the same mind. Let them learn on their own.
Depending what you're blocking, it really depends what's blocking.
I would say don't block anything. Like one of the first things that people come to mind is porn.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
And I'm like, porn isn't inherently bad, A. And if the kid is wanking in the library, yeah, suspend him, but don't stop him from looking at porn. Porn is not in any way realistic, but in many ways it can be educational. So, not to mention that wanking, at least at home, is healthy anyway. So, let him look. Let him look.
It's healthy when we can understand it when you're alone. but it's not healthy if you do it on the library, computer, school, and the kids are searching on the fucking thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there are boundaries with this.
Yeah.
I feel like there are boundaries, and I think there should be a, strict verbal communication. It's like, we don't want you to look at. We're not blocking this, but we don't want you to look at it. We're not blocking this. We don't want you to look at it. If we catch you looking at it, we might punish you in some way. We're going to trust you not to look at it. And in most cases, I believe that usually would work. I could be wrong, but I believe that would normally work. But yeah, I don't see why they would want to block anything. I think illegal activity should be blocked. That I do agree with. Illegal activity. We don't want kids looking at child porn.
Yeah.
Save that for me. I mean, save that for Gary.
I'd say that as far as my opinion goes, I'd say some things, again, it also depends on the topic and everything. Certain things should be blocked. But
schools can block things too.
Yeah,
Smart
exactly.
technology.
Just have certain websites, whatever, that are off limits.
Yeah.
One type thing, or black market or something crazy, or get bombs online.
How to make bombs online. Can I make a bomb out of this binder and a pencil?
Yeah, you search that up. No, if you could somehow block certain searches, that would be interesting.
And about 50% of the school is going to be looking up how to act when the school gets shot up. I think pretty much all of us, when in school, we're bored and we're daydreaming about the day when the school gets shot up and we act like a badass and stop the shooter.
Yeah. Maybe use the right search at one time just so you could make that thing out of a binder. Throw this at the person.
Funny story. In high school, I hit my best friend at the time with a binder. It was a thick fucking binder, and I did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It was in the school. It was in the courtyard, and he was facing away from me. And we were this kind of rambunctious. We like to fuck with each other all the time. Kind of best friends, right? So I run up behind him with my binder behind my shoulder, ready to smack him. And I go to smack him as hard as I can on the back of the head. And right in mid-swing, he turns to look at me. So I smacked him in the face, and his glasses cut his nose. Oh, that was fun.
Oh, man. Terrible.
Whatever.
No, but yeah, I was just gonna ask. Since we're going to see that Jigsaw movie, what exactly were your thoughts on some of the other entries in the series? Since I haven't seen any of them.
You haven't
seen any of them?
Sorry, I have to put this out here. He is going to see Jigsaw, but yeah, he haven't saw any other Saw movies.
It's not like I haven't seen.
Let's be fair. Let's be fair. You don't have to see the previous ones to see this new one. Apparently, yeah, it continues from the main storyline, but it's kind of also its own thing. So I think that's okay. But at the same time, how have you never seen any of the Saw movies? They are so good.
They have a great story to it too. It's not 100% all about the fucking kills and the crazy games.
It kind of is, but it's kind of not.
Catch a mouse game.
I see.
Jigsaw is an amazing guy. I love him. I mean, but as far as the whole series goes, I feel like the best one was the second and third ones, pretty much tied. I felt like they kind of started losing the story a little bit after Jigsaw died. Spoiler alert. The seventh movie I felt like wasn't very good. The games were amazing. That opening scene with the glass box in the middle of the mall.
Done listening.
Wow, you don't like because someone disagrees, you're done.
But the seventh movie I didn't feel like was really good because that cop guy, I don't remember his name, was taking over the mantle of Jigsaw like he was supposed to do in the first place. But they kind of turned him into a slasher film, and they kind of turned him into a slasher killer, and I didn't appreciate it. I didn't like it. Kind of goes against what Jigsaw is. But I am excited for this new one. I've heard some really bad reviews on it already. But there have been bad reviews of the Saw franchise since the beginning, so we'll see.
I almost spent my money on Geostorm, so.
Yeah, he almost did.
Yeah, I think you traded up. I don't know what that is, so you probably traded up. But whatever. Oh, did I mention the My Little Pony movie?
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying that.
That's a
If my
good
girlfriend
movie.
it'd just
That's
be
a
too
good
bad.
movie. And Sia's song in that movie is excellent.
Anyone can see it.
Oh well. Hey,
Good
that's
movie.
fair. That could be my thing, anyways.
Whatever. Well, anyway, I think I'm going to end this episode short today so you guys can go catch your movie, and I got to go pick up Miranda from work. So, guys, as always, you can find Thaddeus Trill again on YouTube and SoundCloud. Just look up his name, Thaddeus Trill. He does some really shitty rap. Sounds like shit. In real life, he looks like shit, whatever.
Oh, okay. I see what you did there.
But if you liked it, leave a like, share it around with your friends, subscribe if you're new, hit that bell so you can be updated when I do a weekly show. Every once in a while, I do a video, not very often. I tend to focus on my other channel where I do Minecraft. Just look up Pin Valentine without the MX. Great stuff. I try to do that as often as possible. I'm pretty busy, but whatever. But anyway, this has been Catching Up. Thank you guys very much for watching. We only half love you because you're adopted. We will see you guys next week.